Factor, the #1 cable news show for 15 years and counting.
Thanks for staying with us. I'm Bill O'Reilly in the Miller Time segment tonight, politics and dancing Trump kids. Joining us now from Santa Barbara, the sage of Southern California, Dennis Miller. So, looks like Hillary versus Trump. Miller, what say you?
Well, listen, let's talk about last night. Obviously, what can you say? Another huge night for John Kasich on the GOP side. He continues to move through this election like Sherman through Georgia. On the Democratic side, Mrs. Doubtlier once again crushed that burning sensation. That's my new nickname for Bernie, that burning sensation. And I think Bernie's learning he's learning that it's not good when your supporters are as disorganized as, let's say, adults who need other people's stuff. Bernie's finding out that there's a blessing and a curse to having people who don't have it together as your main supporters, and they're not registering to be able to vote for him. That's why his campaign is now, as they say, Bernie rubble. But I have two suggestions. For Bernie, what he can do. Now, I think he should become a corporate spokesman. There's a couple opportunities out there. Yeah. I think he can do a beer ad as the least interesting man in the world now that the other guy's moving on. And then I notice that KFC keeps shifting on people. He should become Colonel Bernie Sanders.
I can see that.
And the thing could be other people's stuff is finger looking good. Other people's stuff is finger looking good. Colonel Bernie Sanders. It's a great gig for him.
So you are recommending that after the political season that Senator Sanders migrate into capitalism, go into the corporate precincts. You think that would be a good plan? I would
warn him, though, you don't get to keep much of your earnings, Bernie, because of idiots like you.
50% whoosh. Okay. Now, in Wellesley, Massachusetts, very liberal suburb of Boston, there are 3 creative kids, 11-year-old boys, who participated in a talent show. Roll the tape. Okay, so after they did that, that was the preliminary round in the talent show, and they made it into the final round. But parents in the audience complained, and the pinheads who run the school said to the kids, you have to drop the Trump masks or you can't go into the final round in the talent show. And guess what the kids did, Miller?
I don't know,
they stood up and said, we're not going into the final round, Miller. They were stand-up kids.
Well, you know, Billy, I can't even find any humor in this stuff anymore. I think the country's really screwed up. I think we live in the age of the menacing do-gooder. There are people out there looming, man, and they don't want you to have any fun anymore. They don't want you to mention the other side of things anymore. I'd like to say that I can see some humor in it, but I'm telling you, I think the country has crashed in a primal way, and I don't think it's coming back. Now, I've been telling you that for 3 years. I noticed in some of your talking points lately that you're starting to even get a little angry.
It's getting bad. You are ahead of the curve on this. But
and I don't think it's coming back. So you have to figure out how to play it.
Here's my hope. Christian Matalanio, Mark Magicomo, and his brother David Magicomo, these are the future of America, and these 3 kids stood up to the oppressive, ridiculous school and said, you know what? That was our routine. We're not